Alrighty, good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday, January 22nd, 2025. Let's go ahead and jump back to yesterday and take a look at what happened here. So the market did open and it was kind of messy for the first, I'd say, at least 2 hours of after the open there. We didn't have a strong conviction one way or the other, but the general idea is that if the bulls are going to defend from 50% of the previous day, then that's a clue for the bulls, right? So let's take a look and see. So they came down just through 50% of the previous day here. There are magenta line, but then recovered back above, got above the hopeful there, and then eventually started to push in the bullish direction. So that was kind of your clue when the bulls defended that zone and brought price right back up. Of course, it was a very choppy market, so it was difficult to really discern what was going to happen here. And I actually took two stop outs within the first, I want to say, 20 minutes of the open there, and I just kind of walked away. So there were some good opportunities later on from the level I was trading, but I took a couple stop outs, walked away, and that's just kind of how I do it sometimes. So let's take a look at the open here. They meander around for a second, get the pullback. That is where I tried my first entry to see if we would get the bounce to higher prices, seeing that through the overnight we were trending higher. And we had a nice bullish divergence as price was pulling back into the 200 here. So I decided to give it a shot and went right through. So no luck on that. Continued to pull back. And then we got our first bounce right around the previous daily close. So not surprising to see them bring price right back to the previous daily close and then get a bounce from there. So we hold from there, start to rip out. Then I decided to try a short because I had a bunch of bearish signals. I believe my 3-minute and some other time, my 10-minute had some clues for the bears and we were pulling back. So I figured why not try a short with some bearish divergence off the next roadmap level we were pushing into. Again, you start to see it form just in front of the level there. And then we kind of kissed up, and that was my mistake, was seeing that right there. That is the bearish divergence, one tick in front of the level. And what I should have done was take the trade off. But it came right back and then filled my entry only to push right through. So that is how my cookie crumbled yesterday. Not necessarily the greatest way to start the day. But that's how trading is sometimes. So we come all the way up, and then within 2 points of the level here, with some bearish divergence, at least on the short time frame, we get this big pullback. So there was an opportunity up there if you tried the next roadmap level. I tried this one. If I would have tried this one, I actually would have then made money. But that's just how it goes, right? So we pull back from there with some bearish divergence, go ahead and come right back into the hopeful. So this is another textbook trade. Again, I wasn't trading at this point, but I probably would have taken this right off hopeful. It came right to the tick, bounced out, and how many times do we see price come right to hopeful, either from the upside or from the downside, come right in and then get a rotation. So it was a great opportunity, and you had VWAP there as well. On the way down, you did see the bounce as well, right off previous daily close. So there were a couple of rotations in here off the levels that would have worked out. And then there were some really good shorts off 60.62. So, of course, I try the first short off the level of the day. Doesn't work out. And then for literally 5 or 6 tests, they come right to 60.62, break it by less than 2 points, and pull back for some really great trade opportunities once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, and 6 times, guys. Again, there's a reason we have a level at 60.62. So some really good short opportunities. And if you were to scrutinize these tests, beautiful bearish divergences on the test. So, of course, it was my luck to try that first one, miss the actual high, and then have them come up and rip through my entry. And then here, bearish divergence on the test, bearish divergence on the peak through, bearish divergence on the test, bearish divergence on the test. That was actually just such a beautiful bearish divergence there. And then even on the final test right here, bearish divergence, pullback. And then this final time, I guess, arguably, there wasn't a nice local bearish divergence, but then that was the last one, I believe. And then we started to get above it and ripped out. So again, inside of all this chop for the first 2 hours of the open, what are the most notable rotations, right? 60, 62, the holy orange power level. How many times did we come right to it and bounce to the damn tick right off of it? And then, so that was kind of the most notable rotations in here, up and down, right inside of it. And if you were getting heavy and looking for a short, as we were starting to fail and come down into these lower prices, getting through VWAP, getting through 50% of the previous day, you had a bearish divergence off the level to the tick here, where again, you had a short opportunity. It just only got you about 3-4 points before coming back. And then there's even a parry off the 200 again for a little scalp, but then came back to push through. So again, lots of notable rotations right off our areas. Of course, for me, I just didn't have very good luck out of the open there. So then once we eventually come out, and again, notice we keep holding the Hopel, holding 60, 20, 60, 62, holding the Hopel, holding 60, 62, and then finally we get up through 60, 62, and that becomes the support here. Of course, they had to come down and stop hunt a little bit and then take it right where everyone expected it to go once we broke back above. So on the way up here, now notice we had this duck through with a big bullish divergence on that low, and then we get the breakout. So there was not necessarily a level there to get long from, but once you saw that happen, saw us break through the previous high of this chop session, was a clue that maybe that pullback to the 200 would be a good opportunity later on. And it was basically a test of the swing high, right? So bullish divergence, bounces one tick in front of the 200, and then we get this rally higher, and we hold off the FMA the whole way up. Once they get up through all that, they pull back right to the next major resistance, which did hold for the pullback with bearish divergence. But then again, it was a strong market. You should have been playing the pullbacks, getting long off the bullish divergences, and then you would have got the breakout. This right here, again, a great opportunity to get long right off the previous daily high and the S&R level. Again, almost to the tick there, and you would have got yourself another just about 10 points to the upside. This, I believe, is where we petered out a bit. And on the pullback again, there's that double bottom off the 200 bullish divergence. You could have got another long and then got a little messy here at the end of the day, right? This is kind of that last extended trading hour where they continued to push higher. But again, on the pullback here, there's that bearish divergence off the 200 for, again, another nice little scalp, about 5, 6, 7 points, 5, 6 points. And then at the end of the day here, you can see still defending that general area. And notice that the most notable rotations in this area were right here, right? We hold and get through and then hold. Then we come down and hold it to the downside, and then they come back above, come right to it, and then that leads that final push at the end of the day, where again, your pullbacks into the 200 here should have made you some money to the upside. And then they came all the way up and petered out, what I would say right in the middle of nowhere here. That led to the overnight session coming into this morning, where we do have, and by the way, I just got short off 61.18 here, which is our next major ledge in the market. And I do have pretty much 4 separate accounts going in here for a 4-pointer now, a 5-pointer, a 10-pointer, and then if we can get a breakthrough VWAP here, potentially a much deeper pullback. And we'll make some good money here before the market even opens. So again, we're coming into the next major roadmap level here. We've got a bunch of bearish divergence on the tick chart, on the 3-minute chart, on my 10-minute chart. Everything was showing bears. And just to show you where we're coming in from, let's go over to the 60-minute chart here and take a look at what we're testing into. So right now we're up here at 61.18. There's a reason that there is, and guys, remember, this could have been I could have gotten stopped out. They could have just pushed right through this area. You never know what's going to happen, but this is what I saw. And the reason I put this on a little bit before we started the broadcast is because not only was it just a roadmap level, which sometimes has such an edge that it doesn't really matter what else is going on. We just know the roadmap levels pull back. There's my 4-pointer about to get filled. Let's just take it off. I've got a 5-pointer, And again, this is in multiple accounts right now. But let's take a look and see why I got short here. Look at the hourly. Hourly bearish signal up from the top. I had 10-minute bearish signals. I had 3-minute bearish signals. I have my 512 showing bearishness. And we're pushing right into, here's 6118, right into this ledge where look at how many times we've come into this level and just had huge bullish pushes out, right? Right in there. You can see all these little wicks. I don't know if you can see it on your screen there, but how many times did we wick right into 6118 and get bounces out? And you can see just this strong ledge of support, right? So that's what we were pushing up into, that 6118, right? To me, looked very, very ripe for a pullback. And so if we come all the way over here now, look at, we're pushing all the way up right into that previous ledge of support, and we're getting a pullback. Now, is it going to pull back 20, 30, 40, 50 points from here? I don't know, but I already made money on it, and I'm already closed out on 2 accounts, trading full-size ESs, so I made some good money so far, and that's all that matters, right? If it does follow through for a much deeper pullback, I have some runners here and could maybe make another 20 points just on a single contract on the way down, which would just be icing on the cake because I've already made a decent amount of money so far. So going back to where we are in the overnight here, again, just kind of excited to see that my first trade of the day has made money. And my fill was over here on that 3rd test. So let's go ahead and throw that up there. And again, like I said, 5 points from 18 gives us to 61.13. So I should get filled down here if we can get there. And then I'm going to go for a full 10-pointer, which is going to bring me right to the 200 and the VWAP. And then I have another runner if we start to really break lower. So we'll see what happens. Could be an easy morning. Yesterday, as you guys saw, I was stopped out twice and walked away. So that's how trading goes. So let's look at the overnight here. Again, pulls back right to the 200. Unfortunately, missed it there. And then that begins the push higher. We hold the 200 and the VWAP here with a lot of bullish divergence last night. If you were looking for a trade, of course, this was now, what, just about 8 p.m., I believe. So they came right into the FMA and the VWAP. Look at all that divergence. Pretty good try. I mean, you're wrong within 2 or 3 points. You could make yourself a nice 10-pointer to the upside, and you should have, because it never came back, and now we're up more than 10 points. So great opportunity right there. Over in here, if you notice, we pulled back into the FMA, the previous daily close area, but there wasn't any big divergence there. So wouldn't have been a trade for me, but this right here, beautiful, right? And you even had a short here earlier on. As we were pulling back, we hold the 200, come right to the roadmap level. You got that short, you took 1 tick of heat, and got yourself a nice little pullback. Again, it was just a scalp because they couldn't get past the FMA and then came back, right? So great opportunity there. Kept going. You got a bearish divergence, but unfortunately we weren't testing the level, so it might not have been filled if you tried something there. Then you get a bullish divergence off VWAP again. So again, another great opportunity to try along. Never came back. That was a to the tick hold from VWAP, and you should be up over 10 points again, right? So these are the setups I love. These are why I trade my levels. Look at how well, when these levels hold, they hold. Again, how much risk did I take on the trade? 5 ticks, right? So now we are holding VWAP coming up, and we've just made it right up into 61.18, where again, it makes a whole lot of sense that we're getting a pullback from here, right? Because there's a ledge right there that's important. Where is my 60-minute? Disappear here. I'm having a very strange thing happen on my computer this morning. This is the first time. I've owned this computer for years and years, and it's the first time now my windows are like not showing up. It's weird. I had my Excel window up earlier. I was putting information in it for our news report, and then I minimized it or whatever, and then I tried to maximize the window, and it was not showing up anywhere. I've got 4 screens right now, not showing up anywhere on those screens. And now I'm trying to open my 60-minute chart from NinjaTrader, and it is not showing up anywhere. Again, I don't get it. I really don't. I may have to go ahead and save my NinjaTrader setup here and restart it because the window, this is so strange. Here we go. That was bizarre. So once again, why did I get short just now off 61.18? It wasn't just because we're testing the level. It was because every time frame that I look at had a bearish divergence or a potential bearish divergence from that level. And it's a very, very, very strong area of previous support. Again, they did duck through it here. If you look, they did push through it in some instances, right? There's a big push through there, there, and there. But the general idea here is there is something going on right at 61.18, right? And they might have come right up into the previous swing, which I could have marked on our charts, but I figured we're so close to the actual roadmap level that why busy your mind with another low. So that swing low, 18.5, right? If we were to bring that out, so I can get this perfect here. If I was going to bring that out to December of next year, I guess, so we can see it. You know, that's quite literally where we just came to. Gave it a kiss, and now here we are pulling back. Now, we haven't gotten a 5-point pullback so far. They're really toying around with just in front of my exit, which is typical, and there's even a bullish divergence right now. So this could be the bounce right back to 18. But again, luckily, I made some profit so far. I was able to get a 2-pointer, a 4-pointer, and again, my 5-pointer was damn near 3 ticks from the low, 4 ticks. But that is it for our review. So let's go ahead and jump up to the higher time frames and see if they have anything new to say for this morning.